Hello techies. Nowadays, students are seeking for career advice from the expert. So I started this series, F one-on-one with Eflin. In this series, I will bring the expert to you. The expert will answer your questions. Yeah, you heard it right. Your questions will be answered by the expert. I'm super excited. How about you? This is Eflin Stephen Raj. You are listening to One on One with Eflin Episode 1. Today, we have an amazing guest who will be answering the most frequently asked questions by students for their career in technology. When I say amazing, I mean it. What's special about him is he's an action taker. Yeah, he's the living proof that the distance between you and everything you want is the amount of action you take. As you listen to his story, you will notice that consistency in your work is the key to success. I'm super excited to bring you Aravind Kumar Soundararajan. He is working as a machine learning engineer at Sony India Software Center. I'm super excited to have you here. Excited about the conversation we will get to have today. He will share his tips to get hired by the software company you want to work with. Without any delay, let's dive into the conversation. Hi Arvind, thanks for accepting the invitation.
Hi, Stefan. Yeah, it's a good like you're having me as a guest.
Our viewers are really interested to get to know about you, Arvind. Introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, I'm Arvind. I have completed my electrical. I have done my BTech in Shastra University, and my major is electrical and electronics. So I have been doing some a program, an initiative for school students for 1 year. During that time, I have been came across various lot of technologies from physics, from science, basically from science, mathematics, everything. So during that time, I got interested in AI, artificial intelligence. So I started my journey towards AI from that point. To be very proper, it is on April 1, 2018. It's still fresh in my mind. So from there it started. So I'm working as a deep learning engineer in Ignitarium, and one of our clients. We have a lot of clients, and one of the clients is Sony. So I've been working there as a deep learning engineer. Yeah.
I'm curious about how an electrical engineer started his journey at artificial intelligence and landed a job at a product-based company. Could you please share your story with us?
Yeah, the story start like I have told you, right? I have came across a lot of technologies, and one of the things that's very fascinated is AI, artificial intelligence, because you're it's like you're creator kind of thing. You're making something to happen, like you're whatever it's the one more thing fascinating about it, you no need to do a lot of coding, even though the 1,000 lines of code can be beaten by a single model. So that seems to be very fascinating. So it draw my attention, so I just started in that part. That's the story. But yeah, there are a lot of work. There are a lot of amount of work I have done to get into this position. Basically, I think one thing is what you doesn't know is what is challenging is you even doesn't know whether what you have learned is correct or not. That is one of the very challenging, and because I'm not from I have not learned AI in colleges or something like that, and of course I'm not a CS background guy, but the thing is, this is one of the toughest thing I face, and other things are like the other things are it's easy. Whenever I'm learning a concept, everything you are getting from internet. So you just need some patience. You need to go through research papers. the amount of patience and consistency is the thing you have to invest to get into to get mastered at any. It applies to any field, but if you have interest on this field, particularly on AI, it will be much more easier because you have everything on hand. It's not like you have to go to some institute or something like that. It's fine. You can learn it from the resources available at your hand.
It is an inspiring journey, Aravind. I'm damn sure your journey will inspire many students just like me to get started in artificial intelligence, eh, machine learning, deep learning, and other stuff. I saw your profile. You worked as a ML engineer, AI engineer at many companies. So, could you please share your tips to answer the very first question of the interview? That is, tell me about yourself.
That'll be a reason for every question, right? So what they will expect us, it's about see, there are a lot of various perspectives. One is they want to just comfortable. It's not like we are giving some interview to a machine. We are giving interview to a human, right? So they want
Yeah.
to have some human basis concept. That is the first thing. So it will make you comfortable. They want to make you comfortable. So we don't have to panic on that part. So next thing is they can get a idea like what you have done so far and what's your idea of start. You can also imply that during your so why you are taking this field, what you make it what's the reason you're doing this thing. If you give them, it will give more good perspective about yourself. So those are my things, and you can tell them like what you have done as a degree and what is your if it's a fresher, you can tell them what you have done at colleges and why you are going to that company. If you add those things, it will be a plus part. So that's how we can. That's my humble suggestion for the people who are answering this.
Thanks for the suggestion, Aravind. After the interview round, the selected candidate will be moving to coding interviews. So, what is your tips to crack coding interviews?
Okay. See, the coding interviews, how it's happening is there are two types of coding interviews. One is about algorithms and data structures. That type of coding interview is also there. And recently, if you're a core ML guy, you'll be given some problems. You'll be given some problems, and you have to solve those problems. So two things are there, and it depends on the interviewer basically. So what they will expect is, see, if you're a data structures and algorithms, right, that'll be definite answer. You need to be very strong at your basics. But if you're talking about the ML part, ML coding interviews, they will see how you are applying how you are handling the problem. It's not like you have to give you 100% accuracy or 95% accuracy. It's all about how you are solving the problem. It's all about the problem solving skills. So improve your problem solving skills. It will automatically reflect in your coding part. So yeah, that's how you can make yourself ready for the upcoming interview.
Thanks for the tips and suggestion, Aravinda. Your tips and suggestions will be useful for many students to crack their interview. Nowadays, cloud technologies are drastically improved. With cloud technologies, anyone can build AI kind of projects. Cloud APIs and no code ML platform from all the cloud providers. What do you think about this? Will these cloud services replace machine learning jobs, or it will help them to get the best result?
The thing is, it depends on the problem. If you are a higher level manager and you don't have any resource, you just have only the you don't have much time for the investment and research part, and you have only for the what you're going to solve is only a small amount of problem. It's not much complex. Yeah, then that is the purpose of the cloud API, right? But if you want to do some real hardcore deep learning, AI kind of thing, it is what the clouds alone will not replace. I can assure you that. It is not going to replace in near future, because that could be also some miracle may happen, but in near future it is not going to happen, because already the whatever stuff we are doing is it's relatively new. It's a decade-year-old problem, decade-year-old field. What we are doing right now, yeah, AI is around 50 years or 60 years old thing. It's a known thing. But what we are doing right now, the big data and the other those things, which is relatively new. So a lot of things are happening here and there, but it's not possible to solve the whatever problem we have the real AI, because see, even though the companies now they are marketing as AI, but inside what is happening really matters, because if they are using if else condition, you don't need to do AP also, right? You can do with
Yeah.
only if else condition. See, sometimes it's fair enough. See, you know what? When the real AI comes in, is if you have more data, data alone is not enough. When you have human resource who can convert the data into information. Yeah, we have semi-supervised learning, those kind of stuff are there, but it's mandatory to have something like converting data to information. You need to have resources. Then you need to have some core team to deploy the models. To it needs some time and patience and research mentality to handle to make the real AI happening. Uh, yeah, that's my perspective.
Thanks a lot. I hope I won't be unemployed after my graduation, just because of improvements in cloud technologies. Okay, Aravinda. Moving to next question. What do you think about unpaid internships?
See, what we are doing, I hope we are talking about the technologies, right? So if you're doing some art or something like that, the passion is very important. It's not about the money, because you are following your passion, and definitely you need to learn your work or something, because it will happen only at internships. But what we are doing is technology, and technology is all about money, engineering and things. So there are only two chances. The company is not paying you. Either they are not doing big business, or if they are doing good things, they are not. They don't have the mindset to pay you. So in that case, it's culturally it's not acceptable, right? So you're doing some good work, but you're not getting paid for that. So I don't think it's fine. It should not be appreciated. It should not be get the recognition for doing that. So that's my perspective.
Okay, Aravinda. Now we are talking about internships. So I came up with another question. What if I got a internship offer from a startup company, and in that company I'm the only one employee, even though I am an intern, but I'm the only one employee in that company. So will this experience add values to my profile? Please share your thoughts about this.
See, it will add. See, even I started my internship at a Gamelore. It's a very startup company, and they have not released their product on the time. And I have been working with in that company there are only two people. Two people were releasing their product. So I have been part of the team. But so during that time I have learned a lot. But I have been paid also. So I just told you for that payment kind of thing, but you will be getting a lot of exposure if you are because you are the only person need to solve that problem. So it will be a good experience, but make sure you are getting paid, because it means that the work is happening properly. That's my suggestion, because they are taking you seriously. If they are paying you, they'll take you seriously, and they'll give you a serious work, right? It's very intuitive and logical. So that's my perspective. That's my view.
Okay, Aravind, do you have any advice for the students to get internship offers?
Okay. The thing is, see, there are some websites. Make your two things. You have to make your uh, contacts much better. You can ask people, but before asking to any person about any internship or something like that, have some knowledge on that. At least some. Just yeah, it's right. Once you doing an internship, only you can learn things. But it is also other way. You should have some, tech, knowledge on that. You have to read on some subjects and then approach that person. So whatever they are doing, you can be you can join the team. You can contribute to yourself, because see, if they want to teach you everything from new, uh, it will slow down the whole process. So uh, that's why. So have some knowledge on the things what you're going to pursue. Yeah, if you're doing some machine learning things, do some courses, uh, then join a internship, then apply for internship. There are a lot of websites, so you can easily get an internship.
Thanks, Aravind, for your valuable answers about internships. This will help many students to get their internship. Now it's time to get the time machine ready. If you got a chance to go back to your college days and now you can change something or you can add something new to your skill set, what would be that?
One thing what I feeling right now is I want to do something uh, much. I'm feeling like I need to have much depth knowledge in mathematics. Mathematics in the sense, not linear algebra, because everyone used to get that probability and so. What I'm talking about is more concrete, more deep, like abstract algebra, functional analysis, complex analysis, those kind of things. Because why? It means right now I'm much focused on research kind of things, research areas. In there, you'll be having these fields, because people will say whenever you are beginning a machine learning, they'll say, yeah, you need linear algebra, probability, and statistics. Yeah, everything is that. But beyond that, on any research field, on any field, I'm talking, you need this kind of mathematics, like, functional analysis, abstract algebra, those kind of things, or I'll say they are not underrated kind of things. They are not much rated. They are very underrated. So I think I would do that if I have a chance right now. If I've been given a chance to go back to my colleges, I will do that. I'll strong my mathematics skill. That I will do.
Yeah, now I'm able to understand why mathematics is needed one. Okay, Aravind, I have a doubt. Is it necessary to be a competitive programmer for data scientist?
Not really important. To be very honest, it's not important, because see, there is a so much of misconception in this field. Data scientists need not to be a competitive programmer, and data scientists need not to be a good programmer also. I'm reassuring it. Data scientists need not to be a very good programmer, because if you talk about data scientists, and it is not even artificial intelligence. Data scientist means it's all about understanding the business. It's about asking the questions. This is more about asking the right questions. If you want to be a good data scientist, first understand the business operations and ask the questions, right questions.
Okay, Aravind. Now we came into the final question. As you are working at a product based company, from your experience, could you please tell us how to crack job interviews or internship interviews at a product based company?
Uh, to for a position, you have to decide a position first. What kind of position you're going to do, because there are a lot of IT field, there are a lot of positions. Let's talk about for AI, because I just want to be I'm in AI, so I just want to be more precise on that, which will be useful, because I can't comment on cloud people or something like that. So for AI, if you see that in AI itself, there are so much of hierarchy of positions. You can build a deep learning libraries. You can build a application wise level, architecture level. You'll be handling problems, or you'll be just implementing the models. Just train the model, collecting the data. Those kind of problems will be solving. First, go through the positions. What are the positions available? Then choose whichever position will be suitable for you. Then work accordingly. Most of the people will be pitching on the company first, then they will be proceeding further. I'm telling in a reverse way. First, fix the position. First, analyze what you're going to work as, and do some research whether it will be suitable for your what you're expecting. So then have some skills on that. Then do some courses. I'm saying courses, not the certifications. Okay, do some courses for a beginner level. Then you need to learn, improve your coding skills. Yeah, problem solving skills is very important. Then make your connections as such. The connections really matters. That really matters. And yeah, you can finally land on your job. Check how the interviews. Give more interviews. Don't get afraid of if this company fails, I'll not getting a job. Or don't lose hope. Hope is very really important if you want to pursue. And during at this time, at this lockdown, it is very important that you should not lose your hope. So all the best for the people who are preparing for their dream jobs.
Yeah, Ravind, your suggestions, advices, and tips will help many students to get their dream job. Now I'm about to end this section. Thanks a lot, Aravind, for joining with us and sharing your thoughts about career opportunities. If you have any questions for Aravind, please let me know in the comment section. We will ask him in our next episode. If you love this section, please hit the like button so that I will get motivated to do many sections like this. If your friends are preparing for interviews or having doubts about career opportunities, please share this video with them.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. It's a so much pleasure in talking with you, and through you, I'm talking to a lot of people. It's a very nice experience for me. Thank you so much, and hope people. If it is useful for someone, and if the ideology makes it someone better in their life, I'll be very glad on that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ravinda, it will
And
be
you're doing
useful for me.
and you're doing a good job for the community, the whole community. It will be very useful for people. Whatever whatever their position is at right now, it will be very useful for them. You're not only talking with me. I'm following your shows, and you're asking what are the questions will be most appropriate for the viewers. You're asking those questions, and yeah, it's it's great time to spending with you. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you, Arvind. Thank you.
Thank you.